And at the top of the second half, it's 16-9. Easton leads the scoring with 4.
And that's why she commands $7,000 a year. These gals sure do make it look difficult.
But is having this minor skill worth being so unattractive? That's for the fan to decide. Yay!
Well, let's be nice. Yeah. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
The Australian women's team have called out FIFA for offering a quarter of the prize money at the Women's World Cup as last year's men's tournament. I'm gonna sit this one out. I reviewed this with my trusted individuals within my circle, and they advised me to sit this one out, Jack. Yes, sometimes the video not made is the best video made.
I think all of the women should thank the men for funding our leagues, because most of our leagues would not exist without the men, number one. Number two, when we have the same numbers, then we should get the same pay. I'm sorry, I play volleyball at the highest level, and it's like, when we make what the men make and get the crowds that the men draw, then we should get paid the same.
Whining at the moment
Literally the men fund our leagues, and we will still whine that we don't get paid enough. And honestly, when athletes do shit like this, it makes all of us look bad, because instead of being thankful for the league that we have, we go out and whine and complain about the pay. I just think when we start making the same amount of money as the men, then we should get paid the same as the men. I don't hear the men whining about OnlyFans models getting paid more than them. Kendall Jenner is the highest paid supermodel. Where are the male supermodels? But whenever men dominate in an industry, women will just complain.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. I hope your weekend was good. I got another one here for you. Now, I honestly can't believe we're still having this conversation, but you know, right now the Australian women's soccer team is bitching about equal pay. Even though the Women's World Cup generates less than 1/7 the revenue of the Men's World Cup, we're still having this conversation. And that's what inspired this video. Now, to be honest, this video could have been like an hour long, more than that, because there's so much content out there debunking this idea of equal pay based solely on gender, as if we needed any kind of evidence to tell us that that wasn't a good idea. So anyways, I cut it all down to fit this short video. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it. Welcome to Mankind.
Sent a story here from the Evening Standard. This was 2 years ago. The Australian women's national team, who were ranked number 5 in the world at the time,
yeah,
lost 7-0 to a team of 15-year-old boys.
Awkward.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink, cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling.
That's what you get.
You know, I don't know much about the World Cup, so before the show, I was like, let me Google this. Let me see the differences in the money. The men bring in almost $7 billion from the World Cup. The women don't even bring $1 billion. Yet we deserve equal prize money, and we still get like 1/3 of their prize money.
Maybe these women role models should stop subscribing to this victim's mentality and it's shaming people into thinking that they are so fucking oppressed. I mean, just look at the numbers here. The prize pool for the Women's World Cup this year is $110 million, which is almost 4 times what it was in the last tournament. When you compare the prize pool this year to the earnings of the previous tournament, they're getting paid like 2.5 times more than the men as a ratio of the total revenue. Now, the men's prize pool is $440 million from a total revenue of $7.6 billion. Now, as a ratio, that's only 1/17 of the total revenue. So in order for the women this year to be getting paid equal to the men, they are going to have to generate more than 3 times the revenue that they did in the previous tournament. And my guess is they're not even going to get close to that. And yet they're already bitching about being underpaid. So what the fuck are we talking about here?
Women's sports are highly competitive, often can compete with men at the same level and win.
Ho, ho, ho! Fiction can be fun.
What sports?
Like a woman playing against a man tennis player.
And in 1998, Serena and Venus Williams did exactly that. or tried to. They challenged any professional male player to a match as long as they were outside of the top 200. The challenge was accepted by Karsten Brosch, who was ranked 203rd in the world. And the match was a close one. He beat Serena 6-1 and Venus 6-2.
It's a completely different sport. The men are a lot faster. I love to play women's tennis. I only want to play girls because I don't want to be embarrassed.
You smart. First of all, she shoots the free throw, right? They're supposed to be getting the ball off the rebound and going the other way. She lays it up at the same basket she shot the free throw and missed. Then the same team that shot the free throw takes the ball out and inbounds it.
That's not how the game works.
I think that how much you get paid should have something to do with how much money you bring in. I'm the highest paid fighter, not because Dina and Lorenzo wanted to do something nice for the ladies. They do it because I bring in the highest numbers. They do it because I make them the most money. And I think that the money that they make should be proportionate to the money that they bring in.
What? What the fuck is this world?
Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you're enjoying the video so far. This is just your daily reminder to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell. As you know, I've been rebuilding this channel from the ground up, and I just want to say I really appreciate all the help, all the engagement, the comments, the likes. It all helps a great deal. I appreciate you. What do you say we get back to the video?
Floyd Mayweather fight, they walked away with, hundreds of millions of dollars at stake. You being at the height of your sport, maybe make what, $1 million at most per fight. Does that anger you, and what can we do to change that?
I don't like to talk about exactly how much money I make, but I'm extremely comfortable and happy.
You are?
Yes.
Okay, so...
And, if I got to a point where I had almost 50 fights, I would probably be making close to the same amount of money that Floyd does. But at this point, I have 11. So I can't expect it to be exactly equal yet. I have to put more time in.
This is the type of bullshit female interviewer who is more interested in pushing this victim's mentality, this false narrative, than what the facts are here. For those of you who don't know, the woman on the left there is Ronda Rousey. She's a former UFC fighter. She essentially jump-started the female division in UFC and MMA. She's a former champ. She was the highest paid UFC fighter for a while, male or female. And the thing is, I even think that she's delusional in this instance, because there's no way she would ever, even after 50 fights, get paid the same as Floyd Mayweather. Because, not because she's a woman, but because the UFC is notorious for underpaying its athletes, male and female alike. Boxers have a contract with pay-per-view, independent contract with pay-per-view, whereas UFC fighters have a contract with UFC. So they get paid through the UFC, who takes all the earnings from pay-per-view, and they can dictate how much they pay their employees. And that's where the major difference in payment comes from. Now, this shit about the UFC, it's almost common knowledge at this point. Honestly, like, for anyone who knows anything about MMA, it's known that the UFC underpays its athletes. But hey, what the fuck do I know? I totally understand this interviewer. It would have taken her all of 5 minutes to go online and Google this shit.
A woman's brain is divided into two sides. A woman's brain is divided into two sides, where we have the left side and the right side. On the left side of a woman's brain, there is nothing right. And on the right side of a woman's brain, there is nothing left. Hey! I don't want peace. I want problems, always.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
The shortest WNBA player to ever dunk is Candace Parker. She is 6 feet 4 inches tall. The shortest NBA player to ever dunk is Spud Webb, who is 5'6". As of July 2023, there have only been a total of 33 dunks in the entire history of the WNBA. The WNBA has been around since 1997, so that's roughly 26 years, which equates to 1.2 dunks per season, or about 1 dunk every season. Only 8 different WNBA players have ever dunked ever. Compared to the NBA, Evan Mobley alone has 173 dunks during the 2022-2023 season. The NBA as a league since 2001 averages over 8,000 dunks per season, but this number has been increasing. In recent years, the NBA has been dunking over 11,000 dunks per season. That's about 3 dunks per game times all 30 teams. Then multiply that by 82 games. The WNBA loses roughly $10 million per year and has never been profitable as an organization. If it didn't have the NBA backing it up financially and subsidizing it, it would have gone out of business or forced to be bought out and merge with another league.
Now, dunks aren't a great gauge of the overall quality of a basketball game. Fine. Especially nowadays. I mean, there's a lot more shots, a lot more three-pointers being made. It's a completely different game than it used to be. But dunks are probably going to be a good gauge of the overall speed and power and excitement of a game. And these things generate higher revenue, and they are definitively generated in higher quantities by men.
Give me the pass.
Oh, man! Can you believe it? It was right there!
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
The difference at Olympic level in sport is between about 10 and 30%. So something like middle distance running is 10%. Weightlifting is up there at 30%. So the more explosive an event is, the more the difference between male and female biology. Something like high jump, long jump, quite explosive, about 20, 22%. A male at equal weight will hit 160% harder than a female. And that's onto a female bone structure, which is less dense. Women have a bigger Q angle because of the size of our hips. So that means that we end up with 6 times more knee injuries in things like football, because we obviously have this angle. But it means that a male will have more ability to put power through their legs on things like sprinting, on striding, on a bike in particular. It's a big advantage. So these are all things that reducing testosterone makes no difference to whatsoever.
I'm not going to get into the whole transgender athlete thing, even though it's very closely related in a lot of ways to the whole equal pay discussion we've been having through this video. But this is just more proof that men generate more power and more excitement in sports. And the bottom line is, when given a choice, men are always going to go see other men play sports. You know, men support male athletes. There's no problem there. The problem is women don't support female athletes the same way men support male athletes. And that's half the population. So if they want equal pay, they need to start shaming their own gender into supporting female sports.
I'll be honest, man. Men and women aren't equal. I'm sorry if that hurts your little stupid ears. We're not equal, because equal means the word same. We're not the same. In fact, that's my favorite thing about a woman, is that she's not a dude. Quit pretending we're the same. I don't walk around, I could have a baby if they'd let me. I can't. People try to make it, we're equal, I want it to be equalized. No, you don't. When any one of you got a babysitter tonight, how many of you picked a dude? None of you. Not because you're sexist, but because you're not dumb. Because the baby would fall off the balcony and you'd be like, why was the baby on the balcony? He's like, I don't know, I came out to smoke. And
it's science.
I've no more fucks to give. My fucks have run dry. I've tried to go fuck shopping, but there's no fucks left to buy. I've no more fucks to give. The more fucks I've tried to get, I